I am standing in his bedchamber, 3rd hour past midnight. He is reading by candlelight, and he does not know I am here. I have been standing in this doorway for 6 minutes. The dagger in my sleeve has not moved. My orders were clear. Tonight is the night. Complete the mission, come home a hero. I have been standing here for 6 minutes, and I cannot make my hand move. I need you to understand something before I tell you the rest of this story. I was not supposed to fall in love with the man I was sent to kill. Nobody warned me that was even possible. They really should have.
My name is Saraphine of Ashenfell, though I have not used that name in 8 months. Here I am Era, a girl from the northern provinces, a minor noble's daughter with a smile that makes people trust her faster than they should. My father's war with King Kaelin has lasted 11 years. 11 years of burning villages and conscripted boys, and mothers who stopped counting their sons. My older brother was one of them. He was 19. He never came back. I have been trained for 6 years for exactly this purpose: infiltrate the court, earn his trust, learn his weaknesses, end the war. What they meant by end the war, I understood perfectly. I arrived on a Tuesday in early autumn. The castle smelled like wood smoke and cold rain on stone. I wrote my first letter that night, not to my father, not to my handlers, to him. I needed somewhere to put the truth. I had nowhere else to put it. Dear Enemy King, Letter 1. I expected you to be like my father, loud, certain, the kind of man who fills every room with his own importance. You are nothing like that. You sat through 3 hours of court this morning and said almost nothing. You just watched. I watched you watch. I think you are more dangerous than anyone warned me, and I think I am already in trouble.
The first month, I wrote every night. Letter 4. You remembered the name of a stable boy who had been sick the week before. You asked after him by name. I noted the guard rotation behind you while you spoke to him. East corridor. Changes every 4 hours. I wrote it down. I felt something uncomfortable move in my chest. I ignored both things. Letter 9. I found the cats today. 6 of them in the south garden. The cook told me you started feeding them after your mother died, that you come every morning before court and never tell anyone. I went at dawn and stood at the garden gate and watched you crouch down in the cold in your king's coat, feeding scraps to a 1-eared orange cat, like you had nowhere more important to be. I wrote, I don't know what to do with the fact that you are kind. Then I wrote, the south gate has no guard before sunrise. I wrote it down too. They didn't prepare me for the fact that both things could be true at once. Letter 12. You caught me in the library reading one of your books without permission. You didn't report me. You asked what I thought of it. We argued for 40 minutes about whether the ending was earned or a betrayal. You said earned. I said betrayal. I was right. But when I left, I was smiling, and I didn't notice until I was halfway up the stairs. My handler's message arrived that same night. Progress report. Deadline in 30 days. I read it twice. I wrote back, still gathering intelligence. Timing not yet right. I had gathered enough intelligence to end the war 3 weeks ago. Letter 17. You taught me to dance tonight. Your hand on my waist felt like the first honest thing that had happened to me in 8 months. I hate myself for writing that. I crossed it out. I wrote it again.
What I didn't know, what I couldn't have known, was that he was writing too. She arrived in autumn, speaks 4 languages, too comfortable with silence for someone from a minor household, watches the doors, watches the guards, watches me. I know what a spy looks like. I grew up in my father's court. I have known since the 2nd week. My head of security wants her arrested. He is probably right. And yet, she argued with me about the ending of a book for 40 minutes. She was right. I let her win. I don't entirely know why. She feeds the cats now, every morning before I arrive. She leaves before she thinks I get there. I get there earlier now. I have told no one. Dear girl with the jasmine in her hair. I don't know your real name yet, but I know your accent shifts when you're tired. I know you count exits every time you enter a room. I know you were lying to me about almost everything. I know you had 3 opportunities last month to complete whatever mission brought you here. You didn't take any of them, and I keep, inexplicably, not having you arrested.
Letter 41. I wrote my real report today. I wrote down the guard rotations, the supply routes, the name of the advisor who can be bribed, the time of morning when the east wall is unwatched, every weakness I had found. Then I sat with it in front of me for an hour and thought about my brother. He was 19. He believed in the war. He believed in my father. He believed it would be over by winter. It was not over by winter. I thought about what it would cost to send this report. How many boys on his side would not come back either. I have rewritten this report 6 times. Letter 67. I had a dream last night that I was home. Someone asked if I had found his weakness, and I said, I couldn't find one. They laughed. They said every man has a weakness, and I said, not this one. I woke at the 3rd hour past midnight and lay in the dark and thought about what I had just admitted to myself, and then I wrote it down because I had nowhere else to put it. I would rather die than hurt him. Letter 85. Tonight I burned my mission orders.
If my father finds out, I am already dead. I burned them anyway. Back to the bedchamber. Back to me. Dagger in my sleeve. Him reading by candlelight. 6 minutes. He turns a page. I take 1 step forward. He speaks without turning around. You have been standing there for 6 minutes, Saraphine. My real name. In his mouth. In the dark. I stop breathing entirely. How long have you known? He sets down his book. He turns around slowly. I notice 2 things simultaneously. The door behind me is not locked from the outside, and his hands are completely still. This is a man who has prepared for this conversation, who chose exactly how it would go, who could have had me taken in the corridor an hour ago, and didn't. I found a letter 3 weeks ago, in the rose garden. You dropped it. Letter 41. I wrote your kingdom's weaknesses. I signed it. Your undoing. Then why am I still alive? Because the next day I found letter 67, the one about the weakness you couldn't find. I cannot feel my hands. You read all of them? Yes. The silence is the loudest thing I have ever heard. You should hate me. I say. I do, he says. A pause. Both truths exist in the same breath. I decided that 3 weeks ago. When I read letter 85. You kept me alive 3 weeks after you knew. You could have had me executed. Yes, he says simply. I could have. The weight of that lands exactly as he intended it to. He is not telling me he is safe. He is telling me he chose this. Because I have been writing letters of my own.
He goes to his desk. He opens the bottom drawer. He sets a stack of letters between us. Dozens of them. Dear girl with the jasmine in her hair, I caught you feeding the cats this morning. You left before you thought I arrived. Emperor prefers you to me now. I am choosing to find this endearing rather than catastrophic. Despite everything, despite the dagger in my sleeve and the 11-year war and my dead brother and my real name, I almost smile. Letter 31. I know you count exits. I have started counting them with you. There are 4 in this room. I want you to know all of them. I want you to never feel trapped here. That one breaks something open. And then this one. He says quietly. Dear Saraphine of Ashenfell, daughter of my enemy, I knew what you were from the 2nd week. I fell in love with you anyway. That is entirely your fault. I am done writing to the dark. I am sending this one.
I look at the letters, all of them, written to me in the dark the same way mine were written to him. I reach into my sleeve. He watches me. He does not step back. I set the dagger on the desk beside his letters. My father will send someone else, I say. Yes, he says. The war doesn't end because of this. No, he agrees. It doesn't. We stand in that truth. Let it be exactly what it is. But maybe we stop letting our fathers write the ending. Maybe we write ours. I look at him. This king I was sent to destroy. This man who fed stray cats before dawn and remembered dead boys by name and wrote letters in the dark for 8 months to a girl he knew was lying to him. Who could have had me killed? Who didn't? That's a dangerous idea, I say. Yes, he says. Most of the good ones are. I pick up his last letter. I fold it. I put it in my pocket. Something in his expression shifts. Like a man who has been holding his breath for 3 weeks and has finally been told he can stop. I walk to the door. I stop with my hand on the frame. For the record, Emperor chose me because I bring the good scraps. You bring the ends of bread. It's not personal. A pause. It is extremely personal, he says. And for the first time in 8 months, I laugh. A real one, not the practiced one. I hear him exhale behind me.
I go back to my room. I sit at my desk. I pick up my pen. Dear Enemy King, my brother was 19 when the war took him. He believed it would end by winter. I used to think ending the war meant finishing my mission. I know now that some wars don't end with a death. Some of them end with a choice. Letter 86. The first honest thing I have ever signed with my real name. Saraphine. Dear Saraphine. Letter 1. The first letter I am writing to someone who knows exactly who I am and is staying anyway. I fed Emperor the good scraps this morning in your honor. He was ungrateful. You would have enjoyed it. Come back to the library tomorrow. I found a book with an ending I think you will want to argue about. I am counting on it. Yours, Seelan. Not enemy. Not anymore. Not for a long time, actually. I just didn't know how to tell you. Until now, dear enemy. Dear love. Dear impossible. Dear ours.